Welcome back, Booze and Ghouls. How's everyone doing on this special Saturday edition of Living Dead Fan Presents the FogCast? How is everyone doing out there? We are Living Dead Fam. I'm Living Dead Dad, and you are.
Living Dead Mom.
How's everyone doing? You guys excited for tonight's episode? This is episode number 4, folks. We are so stoked. We have two incredible guests with us tonight. You guys 100% will recognize two of these famous monsters that we have as characters from Not Scary Farm. So this is going to be a treat tonight. I'm so excited. How about you, Living Dead Mom?
You know what? We have been waiting for this one because these were two people that couldn't join our normal Thursday time. So we set out in advance to make sure we could all secure a Saturday together. And here we are. So I know they're excited. I know we're excited. And let's get the videos going to show you guys who they are. How's that? And you guys know I fumble this a little bit, but the tech. All right, I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to show you who we have coming on. Our first one, you're going to recognize this one from the very end of Bloodlines 1842. We are so excited to bring on to the show Miss Ronnie, Grave Shift Forecast, Vampire Slayer at night.
Hi.
Beyond excited to have you on. And we've got one more joining us tonight. So we're going to share that screen again. And without further ado, we've got Michael from Widows Ducky Duckerton Shark. What else do we call you? Skunk. Sorry, not Shark. Skunk.
Yeah.
That is your official haunt name?
Yes, it is.
Awesome. Ronnie, do you have an official haunt name?
I got Forecast. So Forecast is my haunt name.
I'm sure we'll get to those in a minute because everyone has a little unique story on how they got their haunt names. But welcome. Thank you so much, both of you, for spending time out of your day to join us on our 4th episode of the FogCast. We are so stoked, folks. If you're just joining us, this is the FogCast where we love to meet our folks from Not Scary Farm. You can find us on
Apple Podcasts,
Spotify,
iHeart Music, and I think Amazon as well.
All right, folks. Well, thank you so much. And chat, welcome in. I know we got a lot of folks in the chat from Haunt and from all over the world that we've fans from over the past season of Scary Farm. So we're so excited to have the chat in here. Chat, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to drop them in through the stream, and we'll hopefully get to you guys here as the questions go. But thank you so much. I like starting off our podcast episodes. We all want to know is, out of all the haunts out there, all of our theme parks, all the jobs you can do during Halloween season, what got you guys? We'll start off with you, Ronnie. What made you decide to come work for Not Scary Farm during the haunt season?
I love the event so much, and I wanted to give back in a way and learn as I did it. So at first, I didn't even think I was going to get a position. So I just wanted to scare people, and I wanted to learn from the people that gave me so much joy. That's kind of what ended up happening.
And
I love
how
it.
many years have you been doing haunt now?
That's my first year.
Your
I
first
am a
year.
rookie.
Yay!
I'm a tiny one. Like, I scared in my driveway the year before, but it's definitely not the same.
Now, Michael, I know you've got a little bit more history with haunt. What brought you in to be a scare actor to join that audition and join the cast?
Actually, back in 97, I was studying to be a actor. And I was supposed to get an acting directing certificate, my AA degree in theater arts. I've been a fan of horror movies, of Rob Zombie, the classics, Halloween, Freddy, Nightmare on Elm Street. You name it, I have probably seen it. One of the funniest show or movies that I was watching is House of a Thousand Corpses, and that's my first glimpse at Rob Zombie as a director, and I just laughed. I laughed. I continually laughed through the movie, even though they were like mutilating people left and right. But it was so funny. And it was just something that inside of me that said, I had to do this, and, let's try it. And lo and behold, I was a toxic zombie in the underground back in 97.
I remember that one.
98,
Mhm.
yeah, 98, I was in the mine ride as a monster. I got injured, and they sent me to another maze. And at the time, I knew the person I was going to be working with because we were friends backstage at Haunt, but she ended up becoming my wife. Yes. As
happens
Mouse
to be
says in
next
the
to you,
background.
right? We can hear her.
Yeah.
That is a really cool story. I love that.
Yeah. But I've been with the company off and on for quite a while. I enjoy the Haunt. I'm shocked that last year they did not give me makeup or a mask. They wanted my actual face for their orderly, which was turned into a psycho doctor after one of my cohorts decided to give me her stethoscope. And basically, after the run, I had handed it back to her. She said, "No, you keep it. You earned it."
Aw.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Love that. Love that. I
So-
can imagine that there are many stories like yours finding love at haunt, and that's so neat to run into one like this. That's cool.
Oh yeah. My wife and I, she does Haunt as well. She was a talent last year, and she transitioned into Blackout, and so she wants to continue doing Blackout because she just loves it. She loves Halloween. Halloween is our time of year. It's, honestly, it's the best time of year.
Couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. We have via love for Rob Zombie as well, and all things horror. And
He's such a god.
I know. Good to know you. Good to know you.
Yeah.
I do. All right. Let us know, chat, if you guys have any questions, and we're going to try and get those together. And I wanted to ask, obviously, when you guys aren't haunting during the season, being it is most everybody's favorite season. If you're working haunt, you obviously love Halloween. If you aren't haunting, what are you doing?
Sleeping.
There you go.
But I work for the Postal Service, so I work in a large warehouse, essentially outgoing incoming mail. That's why I work nights. I don't see the public anymore. It's just nope, me and my robots.
That's
Then,
awesome. That's
yeah,
awesome. Making the world go round, lady.
Well, I actually work for the company.
Yeah.
I actually am a food prep because of when I applied a week before Haunt was going to end, I had no idea. I enjoyed what I was doing. I really wanted to work for the company in some other fashion. And so I applied just to see if I could maybe get my old job back in the food and beverage department. They called me 2 days after I applied and said, "We like your resume. We want to ask if you'd like to be a food prep and we'd like to interview you." I said, "Of course." And they had me go in for the interview, and right on the spot, they hired me.
Wow.
They hired me. I was ecstatic. I was like, no way. I was like, I never thought I could get back in because I had some issues with knots in the past, but they have really turned around now that they're Six Flags.
So good news on that end. That's a good report.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Good. That's awesome. It's good to hear. Obviously, we hear about the big news, but no feedback afterwards. So you just kind of wonder, hey, is this a big improvement for you guys? So that's really good to hear.
Oh yeah. There's so many people that have my name all over that park. I don't only work one location. I've worked numerous locations. Within the park, I actually am well known. There are times when I'll go, "Oops, hello." There are times when I will go to a location and they'll say, "Oh, hi, Michael. How are you? We're glad that you're here." And I'm like, "Okay, who are you?" But yeah, currently I'm at Soak City right now, working a special assignment at Longboards. After that, I'm supposed to return to the park and go into central processing.
Very
Or
cool.
sorry, central production, the main
Production.
kitchen. Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. I love that a lot of cast. If you're not doing haunt, we can see you doing something somewhere else throughout the year in the same park, and that's really neat.
Correct.
That's
Yeah.
really neat. Your turn, Dan.
That's awesome. I always like to know, as far as and as well as our viewers here in the chat, we want to know, what is your most memorable, like, favorite scare you guys had this past season. Michael, I know you've been doing this for several years. I'm sure you might have. We can probably go a 2 or 3 hour podcast here with all your stories. But Michael, can you share with us one of your most memorable moments you've had working there as a character?
Oh yes. It was actually the Inquisition. Rob Zombie and his wife, lo and behold, walk through the maze. I was sitting in one of the sections of my part of the maze, and I was laying down against these drums, and they were looking at me as though I was a statue, and they were like, "Oh, look at that detail. That's so awesome." And I jumped up and I scared the crap out of both of them.
Wow. Now, did you know it was them from like first sight?
No, I had no idea until I literally saw his face, and I was like, "Oh my god, that was Rob Zombie."
Wow.
Wow.
That's
Yeah.
incredible.
I would have died right there.
Yeah. Literally.
And that's not the only person I literally scared. Virginia Knott came through one of the mazes
Oh,
Wow.
at a time. I can't remember when, but she came through one of the mazes, and I did such an impressive job. I scared her so much that she just enjoyed it. It was a smile a mile wide on her face.
I can't even imagine. I cannot imagine.
wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a memory. What a memory.
Very fun.
That's awesome.
Ronnie, I know you've only had 1 year, but a very good year doing this, and I'm sure you got
Yeah.
several as well. Like, what
I'm
can
gonna-
you share with us?
I would preface it. It was my fault. A guest was enamored with my scene mate, and I just had come up behind her and snarled, just forearm straight to the face.
Oh no!
Nailed me. It was
I've
great.
had-
Like she screamed. It was great. She had a pastel pink sweater. I'm like, well, how is that so soft? But she nailed the heck out of me, and it was hilarious.
Oh my gosh!
My own fault. Like they tell us not to get close, but she was just, oh my god, you're so pretty to my scene mate, and I'm like, you're done. I got you.
That's happened a time or two for
Oh, it
me
was
too.
great.
So
Where you've
I-
been struck?
yeah,
Oh no.
there
It
was
was a
one.
complete accident, but it was great.
Yeah. It's purely accidental. I mean, they even go and, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to do it. Oh my God, are you okay? Don't kick me out of the park because I did that." I was, comes with the job.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
I cherish it so much though, because that was just my absolute favorite scare. Her friends are cracking up. He's like, you can tell when it's accidental, and it was just a solid blow. And I'm like, I'm proud of that hit. Good job.
At least I'll say this: at least they hit the right people with the right attitude and the good outlook on life. I can't imagine if it happens to someone else, they'd be like, "No, you're out of here."
Oh, yeah.
But
Yeah.
It was
it
pure
happens
like
to the right people.
Is there a
It happened.
time? Is there a time where someone's come through and it has caused you, or something caused you to break character?
Ronnie, go ahead.
I had someone jump on my back, trying to scare me, and then wouldn't let up. Luckily, in the finale, I was in the tunnels beforehand where it's all black. Like, so I was the
Mhm.
only character in there. But I could essentially have signals like, "Hey, don't run the show. I need a blackout or something." I just walked him out. I'm like, "We're not doing this." I'm tall. I'm kind of a tank, so it wasn't as much. But I'm like, I'm not going to tolerate that with my other actors.
Mm-mm.
So we walked him out. Security eventually got there, but unfortunately he bolted. Threw his girlfriend into our exit wall and bolted. So he vanished. It happens. But security was super awesome to me about it. Like we gave him a description. Like I understand at that point. Like there's nothing we can do. We unfortunately by finale we don't have a blackout. It's just our guest control at the exit, and there's only so much you can do.
Yeah.
So, but they were like, "Hey, what happened? Are you good?" They checked on us. They just hung around until he came back. It happens, but that's 1% out of all the guests I saw.
Well, thank
It's like,
gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That actually happens to me as well in Widows, because the section I was in, there's no blackout. The nearest blackout is like 3 or 4 rooms down the hall. So there is absolutely no way of protecting yourself in that section I was in. So knowing that, I took it upon myself to like not often break character, but I literally did break character quite often. And the guests just thought it was normal. The other guests that, were not involved in the breaking of the character, they just thought it was part of my stick that I was doing.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can imagine all the different scenarios that you guys may go through.
Yeah, there's time or two when I did say vulgar words. So it's kind of hard not to when you're like in the thick of the scare and you're trying to do your job, and then all of a sudden somebody comes along and wants to mess it up for you.
Right. That's great.
Yeah.
So with that being said, like how do you guys keep it going fresh every single night? Do like the runs, it's about a month and a half long run, going almost 4 or 5 nights a week, sometimes as we get closer to the Halloween season. What do you guys do to make sure that the guests come through and get a good experience every single time to keep it fresh for yourself and for the guests? Ronnie, how do you keep it all interesting and exciting?
I got super lucky with my scene mates. I was in the finale of Bloodline, so where we kill the king. But there's also 4 Daybreakers in there. So when we're not all like, our breaks were kind of weirdly staggered because they shifted people.
Uh-huh.
I got to play in other parts of the maze. So I played break relief for empty rooms. So it was just like, you never saw me here. Now I'm going to move to this other spot. Like I can scare people in different spots. It was a joy. Everybody, if there was a room that only had one person, just asked like, hey, can I scare 15 minutes in here with you? And so it was just a new spot every time, essentially, for me.
Oh, that's incredible. And I was always looking for you, and sometimes you would pop out out of nowhere. I was
I
like,
lived in stilts
yes.
in the exit hallway for a while. When my guys were on break in finale, I was in finale, and then I played in tunnels most of the time. I played in Adam's area, Mr. Baguette. I played in his section for a little bit. I got to play with Alex one night for just a little bit, but I just got to kind of go back and forth. It was good.
I love it. I love it. Michael, how about you? How do you keep it fresh in that room, playing your role as the doctor in there?
Adrenaline. Just
Wow.
adrenaline. Just be as psychotic as I can be. When I auditioned for the role, I was actually in a group with my wife and my roommate, and they had picked a girl before me, and I was like, okay, there's absolutely no way I'm gonna get picked. The next thing I know, they started us to scare and do more stuff and be wild. And so I did a Joker laugh and literally turned the whole entire table of people toward me, looking at me and going, yeah, I think we're going to pick him next. And they did.
Wow. That's incredible.
Yeah, and that's how I got the doctor, because the Joker laugh.
Wow.
It's just I do voices for friends. Like there, one of my other roommates here, he likes my Stitch voice. He loves my Mickey Mouse. He loves my Goofy, my Donald Duck. He constantly wants me to say the same things to his friends and stuff like that, and the voices that I do. It's just an amazing talent I have, and it's sad that I'm not in the theater kind of way, but it actually makes it a lot more fun to do haunt. However, considering this season, I might or might not be able to make it.
Gotcha. Michael, can we get a little sample of like a stitch? Would you mind sharing?
Of course. Ohana. Ohana means family, and family means never being left alone or forgotten.
Wow.
That's awesome.
That is incredible. Wow. Like, if I wasn't looking at the
I
screen, I would
know.
think we're interviewing Stitch right now.
Big
Thank
movie
you very much.
Yeah, that's why I said Stitch, because of the new movie that's out right now.
Yeah.
That is so cool. I love it.
Yeah.
All right. So here's a fun one to get a little creative. What would your monster's dating profile look like? Let's start with you, Ronnie.
Oh no. Oh no.
They've got your number, Ronnie.
All right. Oh. And her profile picture would probably be at the Devil's Den bar, but she'd just be in the corner, like with just a drink. Like, you know, the meme where like they don't know about this kind of thing and everyone knows about it. That would be her profile. It'd just be really awkward. Like we didn't get character sheets for any of our characters this year. And so it's just, I based it off my makeup. So she kind of progressively gets weirder or like more intense. And so she'd be like awkward until you got to know her, and she'd be intense. And so it'd be like casual, and just some random stuff at the end.
Yeah, for me, it was weird because Widows, we actually got character sheets as to the description of our characters. And I honestly did not like my character's description because he was supposed to be a lot more violent, more not so psycho, not so intense like I played him. He was supposed to be this bully. And I've never been a bully in my entire life. I've always been bullied, but never been a bully. So I did not know how to play it. So what I did was I literally talked to my talent captain and I said, what do I do? This is kind of hard for me to play. And he goes, be psychotic. Be like you're off your meds. You say you take psych meds, which, truth, I do. And he goes, just play like you're off your meds. So I said, okay. Lo and behold, I did. And thus I'm all over YouTube.
It works out.
I love it.
Yeah.
Wow.
It worked out. Yay.
Very
Your
nice.
turn.
That's very nice. I know we're not getting, this is like the final year of Bloodlines. Bloodlines is not coming back. I think that's been well established. So for both of you, Michael, you said you may or may not come back, but either or, if you guys could pick somewhere else to be a character in the park, in the maze, or on the streets, where would you guys, what character, what other maze would you guys like to work on if you guys had that opportunity to pick and choose your roles there in the park? Ronnie, how about
Eight
you?
Fingers 9, I want to be one of the woodsmen or the boogeyman. I want to play next to
Yes.
they had a wolf animatronic. I want to play in that room so bad. So bad. But there's also the green bat room with the victims and the 3 bats. I want to be the slasher in that room as
Yes.
well.
Oh my gosh, I could totally see you in
Yeah.
there.
Those are my homes. I want to play
Absolutely.
there.
And put those
Yes!
skills to
I'm
use,
so excited.
right?
That is rad.
Where would you go?
I would actually go for, if they ever had it, the hanging. I've always enjoyed the hanging. I thought the way Jeff Tucker had made the comedy and the camaraderie of all the actors and all the pop culture fun. It was always my favorite thing I wanted to do, but I never got a chance to do it.
That would be really, and you know what? A, what a unique answer. B, but wow, that would be really neat. That would be really neat.
I'm just glad we have it back because it was gone for several years, and I'm just so glad it's a staple for me for Scary Farm because it's been there for decades.
It was there when I started.
Right. Yeah. So for it to be gone, like it felt like something definitely was missing. We were missing that entertainment, the pop culture references, if you will. But I'm so glad that they did bring it back. But yeah, we look forward to it every year. It's such a fun and unique show.
Do you have a favorite year of the hanging?
The 1 year that, God, what was it? They were beating up on, I think it was Britney Spears, and I was enjoying that. I was literally enjoying it. Not that I didn't like Britney Spears at the time, but I thought it was awesome that they would, make fun of her and just like give her props, So
I think one of my favorites was when they had the comedian Gallagher there.
Oh God.
I'll never forget the big watermelons coming from both sides over the audience, aside from the mess he made himself, but just smashing on top of everybody in the audience. Plus, his sense of humor in of itself was a real treat.
Yeah.
Did you have a favorite hanging show, Ronnie?
I think I've only seen 2. And I'm
a couple.
I'm not really into, I don't want to say into it. I'm just very bad at keeping up with things. So I'm like, what is this referencing?
What are they referring to?
I'm enjoying the show, but I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, we missed it completely this last year. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I don't think they had one this year. I think
it was in the wagon camp, and I think that part hurts. And then I think they also made changes kind of halfway through or whatever, and so at that point I just kind of lost interest in it for some reason. I'm not sure exactly how else to describe it.
Yeah, Jeff didn't really, he lost the ability to bring the pop culture references that they always had for the haunt, and it was hard to rewrite something that you had to do several times, even though you had scripts and stuff already ready to go. But no, they had to go, no, we don't want this, we want that, we want we want it to be different. We want it to be newer, fresher. And that wasn't the hanging. The hanging was actually something that was an ongoing event. No matter how much pop culture you would run into, it was always presidential or someone who was making a scene, like Donald Trump lately, but yeah.
So question from someone in chat says, what's their go-to method they do every night to get in the mind to perform?
Any like rituals that you guys do? Like how do you get focused?
How do you get pumped up and focused?
I actually, Ronnie, I don't know if you wanted to
go
start.
First. Your turn.
I actually get into a mindset, like I said before. I'm off my meds, so I basically get like and that
I recognize that guy.
Yeah, that just puts it out there, you know. It
That's a
just
good one.
creates it.
I just do impersonations, you know.
Mouse is over in the background here.
Hey,
Come on, Mouse.
I'll say,
Come on.
hello there, everybody. How you doing this evening?
Hey there.
Hey, Mouse.
Welcome in.
I'm just the same. I'll do voiceovers. I do, you know, laughs and everything that he does. And, you know, it's great to be working with him and married to him. I'm so lucky to find a guy like him.
Aw.
You guys are so cute.
Thank
Okay,
you.
now back to you, Michael.
That's my wife.
Ronnie, how did you get into mindset?
I was lucky to have a makeup role this year. So,
Yes.
just to be able to sit in my chair with my
Mhm.
makeup artist Frankie, and he's like, "Hey, you know, I want to try doing these veins." I'm like, "Let's go." I have when our direction we got during a scare school was, "You're a good guy, but be scary." That's all we got. And so I was like, okay, what? And so he just kind of developed this makeup, and so him putting it on and seeing it just to help me kind of embody this daybreaker that's over it. Like, it's been 3 years. She blames the civilians for her friends dying. We lost the armory because she believes someone ratted them out. So, like, she's rescuing humans, but not necessarily because she wants to, but out of obligation. And so that's kind of this disgruntled daybreaker I went in as.
Your makeup was amazing.
I loved it so much.
It really was. Yes.
It's always
yes.
a joy.
Loved the makeup.
Yep.
Do you guys think that guests truly understand how much work goes into what you guys do every night for hours, every single night, night after night, week after week?
Absolutely not. They think we're just actors that come in, get a paycheck, and walk right out. No, we don't. We actually get into those characters. We actually embody those characters. The whole point of Haunt is to embody the character and scare the hell out of everyone. You know, and the best thing, there was a time in Inquisition when I was put into the back part of the maze because they needed someone to scare in the dark corridor. And there was this one girl that I had come upon and scared her so bad. She went to the ground, started crying, literally wet her panties, and then was like, I can't take it anymore. I can't take it anymore. Stop. And I stopped. I was like, oh my God. At that moment, I broke character. And the night or the day after, I had found out she was a high school reporter that had done a report on me and literally got my name across her high school as the Skunk Man.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Wow.
That's a, so that was my next question. How you guys got your haunt name? So that's how you got the Skunk Man name.
Partially.
Okay.
Partially. The Skunk Man was actually, there was a prop that they had given us choices of. And I had grabbed one, and it was a skunk outside with a slinky inside. And I since then lost it in a move. I don't know why, but I did. But I would tickle the necks of all the guests that would come into my part of the maze. Like
Wow.
literally give them these little tickles and they go, stop it. So yeah.
So you had this prop with you since you started working Scary Farm, and you would just take it with you into every character?
Actually, no, I got it from Not Scary Farm. Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
it was actually one of the props. They were just like, yeah, okay, you want to use this, you can use this instead of a shaker can. The shaker cans back then were kind of dangerous because they would dent, they would break, they would fold, they would,
No.
there's so many different things that would happen with those shaker cans. I'm so sorry to not see a shaker can in
Yeah.
mazes, but it's a good thing that they don't have them.
Okay. I didn't realize that there was a reason, and now it seems like it's the fans. But I missed the shaker cans. Definitely noticed that they were no longer really being used.
Yeah, because they were actually being used as when the monsters would either drop them or they'd throw them against the wall or something. A guest would pick them up and start using them as weapons.
Wow, not cool.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Ronnie, how did you come about the name FogCast? Was that given to
it was
you? Was
gifted
that
to me. So during haunt I stayed in a hotel room, so I'd never really done like long-term hotel stays. So I'd post in our maze chat, "Hey, this is a forecast. We're getting this for the week." And one of the girls that works in my maze is retiring. So as her retirement gift, essentially, and because I was posting it every week, I got the name Forecast. I was like, yes, I have a name.
Cute.
Nice.
I'm glad it was that and not
Nice.
I ran my face into one of the support poles, scaring someone. So I'll take Forecast over pole.
Yeah.
Wow, right?
I got the scare there, but
That's
Forecast,
hilarious.
I love it. I'm like, I love that name. It's my first thought name, and I'm going to cherish it forever.
It fits. It fits.
I'm now the Weather Channel.
All right. Another fun one. You're thrown into a survival horror game. What is your monster's special ability?
Oh no.
Killing everyone that's in the game.
We're winning.
Yeah. No. The thing for me, if I was in like say Resident Evil, I would actually be the one fighting the zombies, but yeah, but no, if I had to be a villain, I would be like Tyrant.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Mhm.
Oh,
That's a
Love
good
that.
one.
she just be really tanky.
That's a good villain.
Like it'd take a lot to bring her down.
Yes. Yes.
Klutz,
I
klutz,
love
but tanky.
A good way to put it, right? I love it.
This is I think a very important question because we have a lot of guests here with us in our chat and just admire you guys completely. They look up to you, and that's one of the reasons why we do the podcast here. What advice would you give to these young kids that are up and coming? What advice would you give them when they go to these auditions? Because I know just recently they just announced some audition dates. So what can these young talent do to prepare themselves when they go to these Not Scary Farm auditions? Michael, we'll start with you. What advice can you give the new future characters of Not Scary Farm?
Be yourself. Just go wild, have fun with it, enjoy the moment that you're having at that audition. Nothing is wrong. Nothing is out of limits. You could do just about anything. Yeah, they tell you not to scream, not to yell, not to do this, not to do that. But you know what? That's what they actually want. They want you to scream. They want you to be noticed. So that way you can get picked, like Ronnie and myself. That's the whole point of it,
Love it, love it. Ronnie, how about yourself? What advice could you give to the up and coming characters? Hopefully, someday you will be scaring along with.
You're allowed to be nervous. Like, be nervous.
Ah,
It's fine. Everybody else is there nervous as heck. Like, I was panicking on the way up. I was panicking in the parking lot. But everyone's there to do the same thing you're going to do. Like, it's mentioned several times.
mhm.
And if you're not sure, look up other auditions. Not just Scary Farm, but Six Flags, Halloween Horror Nights, Woods of Terrors, out-of-state mazes, and whatnot. Excuse me. Other scare acting training that people have done just to help boost your own self up. Because that's what I did. As I knew no one in the haunt community, so I was literally on YouTube constantly. Woods of Terror. I think they're called Living Dead Army. There's just little ones. Scaring with Sammy. There's a whole bunch of different resources out there. That it could be a UK. It could be just out anywhere. Just look at other haunts. So if you're not sure, you can get ideas from them, or even your own favorite actors here. You've seen them in the mazes. Mimic what they do. To make it your own. But it's a good baseline to have, just to look at everything.
That's awesome. That's great because there's so much resources on YouTube. Gosh, we can learn anything from YouTube. But that's a great point. Looking outside of not just here in California, but there's haunts everywhere globally. So,
Yeah.
and it's good to get their perspective to see how they scare, because I'm sure there's different methods and ways of scaring too than just what we see here that we're used to seeing. So that's some great advice. I really like that.
Yeah, one of my cohorts in Widows actually came from Universal, and she told us how different Knott's is to Universal. Universal, they're more, you have to do this, you have to do that. You can't be yourself. You cannot be free. You have to stay in character. If you don't stay in character, you get written up.
Oh no.
Yeah. And Mariana, hi, how are you? Mariana Parker was one of the people that I had to help last season with how Not Scary Farm is so different than Universal. There were times when she had moments in backstage where it was just like she couldn't do it. She wanted to quit. I was like, why do you want to quit? Aren't you having fun? Yeah, but it's just hard. These people, they don't understand me. They don't, they do name calling. I go, honey, that's the job. That's the way it is. Haunt was never meant to be a do it this way or don't do it at all. It was meant to be yourself, scare as much as you can, get the people to drop on the floor and keep scaring them when they're on the floor,
Yeah.
I mean, Ronnie would even say that it's, hard to, I don't know what it was like in Bloodlines. Forgive me for not being able to go. They kept me, tight on my schedule. Yeah. So it was kind of hard to get into the other mazes, even though I wanted to go. I definitely wanted to check out the other mazes and see how they are. When my wife Mouse did Dark Entities, she had an awesome time doing it because there were spaces where she could, like she said in the background, it's sci-fi horror. That's what she loved to do. She wanted to be a part of that. when she was scaring, I didn't even notice it was her. I literally stood toe to toe with her, looking at her, going, "Are you Kathy? Are you Kathy?" And she wouldn't answer me. She just was like, so the whole entire time, I was enjoying it because she was coming out of like places that you wouldn't even think to come out from. And that is what Haunt is all about. Scaring people in ways that no one could imagine.
I
Wow.
do want to touch on one
Yeah.
more thing too. If you're working a second job, count the days of Haunt, like the posted dates, and add 4 more for training. Just in case, because I know I have to put in all my time. So if you give your other job, your full-time job, a heads up, like, hey, it's these dates plus 4 more that are going to pop up randomly. So that way they have a note. 'Cause I know that was kind of a problem in RMAs, is that a lot of people's full-time jobs are like, yo, this is a lot longer than we thought. So just keep in mind that if you're working another job, it's not just the posted dates. You're going to have a little, like almost a week extra of dates. So and that's very hard information to actually look up. I was terrified to reach out to someone and be like, hey, you know, how many actual days? Because I need to put them in for my full-time job before I even think about applying. And they're like,
yeah, because these scare schools never really happened back in my day when I started. There was no scare school. It was you were on your own. Yeah. So you were actually having to perfect your character and try to get people to scare more and try to get your fellow cast members to scare with you so you could, team up and do a really good job.
A lot of growth right there. And definitely you've seen both sides. And I would imagine that you would definitely say, hey, I definitely see the value of the scare school.
Oh yeah, the scare school helped me quite a bit. Yeah.
That's awesome. I'm glad that is a new improvement from years past. Wow. That's pretty cool. All right, let's see here. What is your Monsters theme song?
I posted part of it once, and I'm so bad at song names. I am so bad at song names. Oh no. I'm not gonna be able to find it.
Well, of course, mine would be Rob Zombie.
Rob Zombie.
Yeah. Probably Never Gonna Stop.
Love it. Love it.
That or Dragula.
Yeah, I like Dragula. Dragula's good.
Yes.
I cannot pronounce it, so hopefully it focuses. It's Monster. I can't pronounce the name. It's probably not going to focus. I'll type it in chat.
I see someone.
It's Leirion. It's called Monster. That's the artist name. I'll type it in chat. I just like that one.
Okay. We're going to have to check that out.
Yeah.
But it's fun.
That actually sounds pretty.
It's kind of, I'm not even going to try and describe it. Like, oh yeah, I'm bad at genres. I'm like, it's music. I like this.
Now, especially Ronnie with that world famous snarl. How did you take care of your voice?
This was a godsend. The throat coat was still 3L. I'm sorry, it's backwards. But I would drink this before I came in, and I would drink it after I came back to the hotel room.
And were your vocal cords just shot every night?
It really took about, I want to say maybe the 3rd week for it to really get bad.
Okay.
It never agitated me as much until about mid-season. And even then, like the honey, just chugging some honey. There was Ricola. They're not cough drops. They don't have menthol in them, but they were basically honey, just in the little cough drop size. So I use that a lot. So it was kind of, it burned out eventually. I also don't have to talk to anybody else. So my cords got to rest every time I went back. And then like during my work week, there's like 3 people I interact with really at work for my job because I work with robots most of the night. So I don't have to talk. So my cords got to rest the whole week until we went back to haunt.
That's helpful. Helpful.
It's funny, Ryan, because you're not the only one that mentioned the honey cough drops. I think someone else from our previous episode saying, if you guys want to get us anything,
and it was
come in the mail.
His name.
And hand
it's Kip Kid.
That's who it was.
Yeah.
Yes.
I can't remember his name, but it's the Kip Kid. It's like you want to avoid
I think we need to go to. Yes, he said we should go to Costco and just get the bulk of the cough drops or whatever the honey ones, and start handing them out to you monsters.
Yeah,
that's funny, Michael. This question specifically for you because you've been there since, gosh, 97, correct?
Mm-hmm.
What you've seen so much changes. What have you seen? I'm assuming good changes from 97 to present. What's been like? What's some of the good changes you've seen there for Not Scary from all these years that you've been with the company?
A lot of talent that you would not see anywhere else. A lot of characters that are crafted from the mazes that they're in. Streets. There's also a lot of people on streets that do a lot of changing of their characters. They have profiles and literal books of this much information just to create a character for Haunt. And I've noticed over the years that as it gets on and on and on, there have been a lot of changes. Like we had the Crypt Keeper, we had Elvira, we had Seymour. Seymour was before my time, so I don't remember him too much other than hearing about him from the 50th anniversary and the stuff like that. But Crypt Keeper was actually the one who represented the Inquisition. It was Tales from the Inquisition, and we were like, okay, where's the Crypt Keeper and all this? But it actually was pretty cool. I actually got to meet Elvira one time. She was performing in Haunt, and she is so awesome to be around. She is really a doll. I love her to death still today. I think she is such a gorgeous woman, and she is such an icon, and it is a pleasure to have worked around her and with her, and even then see her as a guest. It was awesome. It was amazing.
Definitely a fan. Too fun. Okay. Let's see here. I've got some things written down. If you could scare anywhere else in the world outside of Haunt, where would you be?
So I'm going to an airbrush and stilt walking class at a Dark Hour Haunted House. Alan Hop's team and his training classes are just amazing. Like his whole team's attitude when they're working with other people that I've seen is something I want to be involved with. Like I want to learn from you guys. You just seem like awesome people. So that's I want to go check out Dark Hour because of their staff. They're my kind of people. Like I would love to work and learn from them. So
that would be neat.
Awesome.
That would be neat. What about you?
Hollywood Horror Nights.
Fun.
I would love to go to one. I've always wanted to go to one, but it's too far for me to get out there. So I've not gone. But yeah, I'm loyal to Halloween Haunt, you know. um I've done the only other time a haunt sort of thing came up was at Disneyland when they were opening up the haunted mansion for the holidays, and they had Jack and Sally there, and I was at the time a busser, and I was bussing tables and being able to be there for the celebration. But yeah, that would be an awesome thing to see is Hollywood Horror Nights.
And so then on the flip side, which maze or scare zone would your monster never want to work in, and why? Is there one?
For me, I would say Ghost Town Streets, because they have had a lot of trouble with guests being rowdy, and they'll hit, they'll punch, they'll kick, they'll do just about anything to upset the 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 whole theme of the street. There were times when I would be going from my maze to a break room off, you know, off in the streets, and I would literally scare people while I was going from one place to another, and you weren't supposed to do that, but it was common thing. We get into character and we stay in character, and so we have to scare.
Yeah.
And yeah, we may steal scares from the street people, but honestly, it's a plus when they see someone who's talented enough to take the initiative and say scare someone on the street. They just take a look back and go, wow, okay, why aren't they here? Why aren't they with us?
Good point. Good point.
I really, for like as a character, she probably wouldn't want to be near in Mesmer at all. No, thank you, not clowns. But like for me, I think I really just don't jive with like victim roles. Like the victims, like the sorority girl in Cinema Slasher, she does a fantastic job, but that just makes me itch. It makes me want to throw punches. Being like just a victim would frustrate me beyond end. Like let me fight with the other person. Like let's roughhouse and get our scares that way. But no, it makes me angry.
There's something for everybody, right?
Yeah.
I love it.
It's funny you say that, because I was thinking that the other day. I was like, I hate getting scared by the victims in these mazes. I'm like, you're not supposed to scare me. You're a victim. You're being slashed to pieces. Why are you scaring me
as
for?
a person, I'm like, I want to help you, but I can't. I know this is a role. Don't ask me for help because I can't.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious. Ronnie, we did talk about this a little bit at the top of the podcast here. Your makeup's just incredible. Like, shout out to your makeup artist that does your work for you. Yes, excellent work. Can you walk us through the process from like beginning to end? What's it like putting on, or them doing the makeup for you, the contacts, all of that stuff? What's it like sitting in a chair getting ready for
I was a
Scary
spoiled
Farm?
princess. I don't wear makeup normally, and so I know the concept. It's mostly all airbrush, a little bit of touching up here and there with the paintbrush. But it's really, contacts are your own. Same with like anything dental. That's all out of your own pocket. You should have them in before you go in. You have to make your time slot.
Okay.
I shared a time slot with another talent. We were both in the same maze, so the same room. So we shared our time slots, and he's knocking this stuff. It's supposed to be 5 minutes each. Luckily, she was stunt, so she got a little bit of leeway. So it's 10 minutes each, and he's just going. He's like, "Hey, I want to try this." I'm like, "Go for it." But you have your time. You
Wow.
wait. If there's someone in your chair, you wait outside and just kind of peek and like, "Is it my turn? Can I go yet?" But yeah,
Wow. So they do that all in 5 minutes?
Frankie luckily got to do 10 because my talent, she
Wow.
has to get her rigging on. So he got a little bit more time. But yeah,
Okay.
like once you get it pinpointed down, he's like, boop, 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 done. He's like, hey, I have a little more time. Let me add a little more
No
vein.
way.
Let's try this lipstick tonight. I'm like, I've never worn lipstick like this. How do I do this?
So you've had like quite a few different looks throughout the
Yes.
season, correct?
We really nailed down the
Wow.
veins and going in with a little bit of a slit nose. I was happy with whatever he gave me. I was like, let's go. And it helped influence my character a lot. Because like the very first on my Instagram, I had the very first look where it's this kind of, I was paler and it looks like just the dirt from grime from fighting. And then eventually I switched to my wee woo eyes, I call them. I had my one blue contact and my red contact because he started doing like infection veins going up. So as the season went on, it just got more and more evilish. And so it just we went more aggressive.
Love it. So is that your first time ever wearing
No,
contacts
I wear
before, or
contacts
are
normally.
you?
So I'm blind as a bat
Oh,
without them.
okay. Wow.
Join the club.
Yeah.
So yeah, I before I used to go to Comic-Con and whatnot, so I'd wear like Seclara lenses for some of my orc costumes, and just I have a variety of contacts. So they're comfy for me to wear. Blind ones like the bride wears? No, absolutely not. I will run into walls more than I do.
Michael, have you ever had a role that you had to put on makeup and contacts and all that jazz?
Actually, no. I was given the chance last season. Like I said before we started, there was a cameo pass that they give you for winning an award. And we had what were called kill it cards, and we would scare people. And if one of our bosses saw us, they would hand us this little kill it card, and on the end of it would be something you fill out. You put a ticket in the box, and then you would, get a drawing or something going on. And I was actually picked in the drawing. And it was actually took 3 kill it cards before I actually was picked. And I won the cameo pass, which gave me a chance at being a different character than the psycho doctor. I had chosen my wife's maze origins, in which they dressed me up as if I was supposed to be one of the town folks, but one of the town folk people looked at me and said, you look more like a judge. Why don't you go up to the podium and you do all the judge stuff? And I'm like, okay. So I started doing that, and I scared practically everybody that was coming through the maze. They were like, oh God, he's so evil. He's, he's pointing at us, and he's saying things to us that are bad. And, my wife was laughing in the background because she was a blackout for that room, and she was just enjoying it. And, it was actually something that I had never thought I would have the chance of doing. But sitting in that chair, I think her name was Kat, my makeup artist, She airbrushed me. I said, do whatever you want. I don't care. And she was like, okay, well, how do you want to look? I go, just surprise me. This is my first time. I'm, honestly. So she had me take off my glasses, and then she did up my face, and literally she made it look so horrendously awesome that my wife did not even know it was me.
No
She
way.
had no idea. I had come up to her and I had snarled in her ear, and she turned and looked and was like looking at me like, who the hell are you? And then she almost said, get the F out of my face. You did.
Oh, that's a great story.
Yeah. But it was amazing. I still have pictures of when they, like, I literally wanted them to take pictures of it because I wanted to remember it for my lifetime, and I enjoy it.
I love that. Did you get video of that?
I don't think I did, but I have pictures on my phone. Let me see if I can try to get them. Let's see. It was last year, so I've got a lot of pictures.
No worries. Well, you're looking for that. We've got a question in the chat, and they are asking, Eddie asked, if you were in a horror movie, which one would you be in?
I haven't actually seen a lot of horror movies. I'm very bad at sitting still. I like horror games, even then I don't play as many as I should.
Which horror game would you be in then? I'm sure we got a bunch of horror gamers here in the chat.
Clock Tower 3, I think is my one I vividly remember. I would not survive it at all. It's kind of terrifying. I remember it having giant like butterflies or moths, and we found one in the garage once as a kid after I've been playing the whole time. Lost my mind. But that's like the one I most vividly remember is Clock Tower 3. We've been playing a lot of Phasmophobia, which is ghost hunting essentially. But
okay.
yeah, I wouldn't survive in Resident Evil. I'd be one of the affected real fast.
Yeah.
I think I would be too.
Now, do you play, Ronnie? Do you play with like your headsets on, like the whole surround sound? Do you go all in? I can't do that.
I don't know if you can see it, but that's
awesome. Look it!
Oh, there you are.
That is
awesome.
The costume they gave me for the cameo, and the guy who was actually the judge on that day or night, I should say, looked at me and said, "You know what? You look more like a judge than I do. Get up on that podium."
That's awesome.
That
that's really neat that
sure.
he gave that support. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I love that. Someone said, I heard horror games. Does Ronnie play Resident Evil 2
I
remake?
have not, but I think my boyfriend might have it. Do we have that? Resident Evil 2 remake? The Resident Evil 2 remake, do we have it? Yes. No. Okay, we haven't picked it up yet, no. Like, we have a lot of a backlog.
Lanny asks of you, Skunk, how did you like being in Widows?
I actually loved it. It was kind of hard to get into the character at first, but once I got I got the idea and the knack of the character, I enjoyed it. I loved it. It was awesome. I played it so many different ways, and the doctor when I became the doctor instead of the orderly, it was so much better because I was interacting with the guests like I had done with my, haunt name, Skunk. And I'm like amazed that they even chose me, and they literally did not give me makeup or a mask or anything. They just said, "You're it." And I'm like, how the hell am I supposed to scare people like this? Just don't scare. And the more I got psycho, the more scared people really got. It was a ball. It was a ball.
Alex asks, if you could create a maze or zone concept, what would it be?
That's a good question.
I really liked
Uh,
dark entities. I liked the interactive with the hemp plates. I know those were more for talent, but a lot of time it was empty when I went through, unfortunately, until the last year. But I would love to have a more interactive maze. Like guns and mine where it's kind of cool, but it's dangerous in and of itself. But little things like that, like, oh, if you use this hand panel, maybe you can go another path. Just like slightly an option. It'd be a nightmare logistically, but I really, really like the guest interactives.
That's a good one. I
Back
like it.
when I was in the haunt, back in like the 2000s and whatever, they had, and I'm sure you guys knew about it, they had something called Trapped. And it was the interactive maze that Ronnie was just talking about. Thank you, Ronnie, for bringing that up, because that was the quintessential maze that you would go into, and there would not be just a beginning and an end. There was a beginning, and then how do I get through this part, and how do I go this way, and how do I get over here, and how, where is the exit? And it was so much fun. My wife and I, Mouse, went through one of the trapped mazes. We got all the way to where they literally hung us. And while I was hanging there, I was like, is this all you got? While I was dangling from the noose. But it was just fun. It was fun. I miss those though, because they were pretty creepy, because you had to literally, it was more like a fear factor type of thing, where you had to go in and you had to say a secret word to get out. If you couldn't handle it anymore, you scream out boysenberry, and they'd let you out of the maze.
I think the equivalent to that now would be the 17th door. That's also in Anaheim. Yeah, so probably I had a lot of fun. I've done it. I had a lot of fun, but I think for a more general public, maybe a step down from that. But it was not much. It was so much fun though. It was a rush.
It's almost like you need something in between.
There was, in Anaheim, there was actually a mom and pop haunt that they came up with. I think it was called Motel 6 or something like that. I did a preview, or not a preview, review of it, and it was actually pretty set up to like take you different ways, and it would never be the same way. Yeah, I mean, you'd enter one way and then you'd come out the exit, but before you got to the exit, they would send you certain rooms within the maze. You know.
Wow, fun. Michael, I know you talked about this earlier, and I'm so sad that Knott's removed this from the parks, but I really miss when they would have live the characters on the log ride, the Calico, Kingdom of the Dinosaurs, or when it was Berry Tales. Can you tell us your experience being a character at the Calico Mine Ride? What was that like?
It was actually we were Egyptian characters.
I
We
remember
were
that
temple
year.
gods.
Yes.
Yeah. And it was back in 98. And it was hard for both myself and my partner because we were tied to these bungee cords in our back. And yes, we were wearing a harness, but at the time the harnesses never really gave us the freedom to move around. So if we moved a certain way, it pulled us back. One experience I had was I had come, up to rush a mine car full of guests, and I literally slipped because the bungee cord pulled at me. I slipped, fell, almost hit my head on the mine car, and ended up being relocated. That was the incident I was talking about earlier when I was relocated to the Inquisition.
Oh, bummer. So is it safe to assume they probably removed all that because of the potential injuries that could happen with moving vehicles?
That is what a lot of us old haunt monsters, we were kind of like, we can't do this. We would love to scare in those areas, but no, we can't scare with harnesses, or there were times when there were bungee cord people, and there were stunts all over the place. And I think they still do that now, but not as harsh as they did it before. And by harsh, I mean it took a lot of physical know-how to get the characters that were like the bungee cord type ones to like literally scare people. It was terribly hard.
I think the last year they had characters on the rides, I think was Halloween Hootenanny at the log ride. I think it was just a few years ago. I want to say maybe 3 years ago, I think was the last.
Yeah.
I remember going on later and they weren't there anymore. I'm like, wait, what's going on? Where are the characters at?
Yeah. It got to a point where a lot of people were getting injured.
That's too bad.
The guests were also throwing stuff at the monsters, and not being very professional or having fun with it. They were just, honestly, they were too much into, let's see how much we can push this monster,
Right.
And that wasn't the way. Yeah, that wasn't the way haunt was supposed to be. Haunt is supposed to be a fun night for everyone.
It is, absolutely. There's always that one person that kind of ruins it for the rest. Unfortunately, with everything in life, that's always hard. All right, you guys, if anyone else has any questions here, please let us know so we can get them out there for your haunt monsters. And I know you've always got one question that you like to ask at the end of every.
Oh, I know. Well, thank you both so much for spending your Saturday with us. Like, we were so excited. We are excited to have you guys with us. But one final question I'd like to ask before you guys go, before our guests leave, is gratitude's very important in our life. We wake up every day and are so thankful for the things that we have and we don't have. It gets us through life. So my question to both of you is, what are 3 things that you guys are grateful for right now? Ronnie, what are you
My
grateful for?
mom. Oh yeah, my mom's my biggest supporter. She was unsure about me going up there because it was something new for me traveling out on my own, even though it's only like 2.5 hours really, but the hotel stay and everything. She's like, "You're a grown adult, but you're my daughter. Like, call me when you get there. Call me when you get home. Tell me how your day was. I want to know." Because she's not big on the scary. Like, she'll let me do Halloween and everything. She's more classical Halloween. She loves her witches, but all the gore and everything else, she's like, "Nope, no, thank you." But yeah, my mom was a huge supporter, and I would call her before I go and just chat real fast before she went to work because we both work nights. So it's like, "Hey, how was your night?" But she's always a good support. Oh yeah, I love my mom.
As a mom, I love that.
My mom's the beast. My boyfriend, he would make mom made me lunches too. I won't lie. She'd be like, "So you don't have to buy food while you're up here. Have food with you." Like, yay. My boyfriend would make these giant pizza wraps, or basically pizza burritos, and I would eat those for Haunt, and they were delicious and filling. And he drives me up to the auditions because they're so early that like I get off and I can barely sleep, so because I'm so excited and just nerves. So he takes me places because I'm not fond of the drive. It's boring. So he'll drive me up so I can sleep in the car. He was a big supporter.
That's
Like,
awesome.
he was able to grab all our friends for one night to come see me. And one of our friends that have never gone to Haunt with us, he went. And so I was like,
Wow.
friends. I was so excited to see him and scare him. And then honestly, my scene mates this year, like, we still in contact. They do so much cool things. Like, they were doing Ren Fair, once in hockey in a band, and it's just like, oh my God, Danny doing her own podcast. They were so kind to let me explore in different rooms and just hang out and be the weirdest snarly daybreaker that I was. And just, I had so much fun because they let me have that fun. So I'm thankful for them, and I'm excited to see what they all do. So yeah.
Awesome.
Love that.
Yay.
You feel that throughout all of us on the outside that kind of get to know you guys, be it through social media or however, is seeing the family bonds that take place within mazes, within zones. I know we definitely saw and we felt it, and we're not even a part of Haunt in that way. But I mean, you specifically, lady, made us feel a part of, by just such simple little things. And I will never, I don't think in my entire life, forget that first night in the dark, hearing someone call us out. And I thought, is something wrong? Is you know? And then I turn back and I see this, and I just don't
The
think
little gun just
you
like,
will ever, yeah, I don't think you'll ever understand how happy you made 2 old souls that night. I think we were on a high for days after that, and I can truly say the love is endless. In a lot of the reason we're here today on this podcast and doing the things we're doing is because of that. Same with Cinema Slasher, same with Mesmer. Just all of a sudden, all of you guys started coming out in one way, shape, or form, be it in our chats, joining us literally in our lives while you guys are on your breaks, looking for us to come in. You guys do that for each other, and you don't realize that you do it for those around you as well. So thank you for that. Widows, same thing, getting to know you guys in that maze. Be it, finding out you guys are sliders and seeing you at other events, or just getting to go through every night or learn about you here on the podcast. You guys are all just incredible, and I hope you understand the magnitude and the effect that that you carry out into the world when you clock out and when the season ends, that experience doesn't end for the people who saw you, experienced you, and can't wait to see you in whatever capacity that is in that park.
Yeah.
Thank you. Michael, what are 3 things you are grateful for right now, my friend?
My wife, Mouse, for one. She is the support of my life. I know my parents, may they rest in peace. They're looking down on me and they're going, "You did it. You are awesome. You did it. We love you. We wish we were there, but things happen." And there is another supporter that I promised to give a shout out to, Andrew Z. I gotta
Such a
say,
sweetheart.
he is one of the most terrific haunt monsters ever.
Yeah.
He wants to be a haunt monster, but there's some people that say he's not doing it right, or he's doing it too softly, or no, he scared me a couple of days ago. Thursday, there was a party that Knott's had for the associates for the summer. And he was there because, of course, we work for the park. He works in guest services. I work in food and beverage. But he came up to our table, and Kathy was looking at him. I was paying attention to my phone because I was playing one of my favorite games. And all of a sudden, and I'm like, "What the?" My Kathy,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
yeah, Mouse
We've got video.
Mouse was laughing her butt off
Oh man.
while we were eating our fried chicken dinner. And it was fun. It was.
I wish he was in here tonight. He has left so many messages about his excitement to see you on here tonight. I know he's going to rewatch. Andrew, you are such a kind soul and close to this family's heart, and we love you. He has gotten this guy coming off the train at Disneyland. He gets us every time in the chilling chambers. But he is just such a genuine and caring soul. And we will definitely repeat what you just said. Definitely, he's a blessing in the lives that he touches. So
he is a really good person.
He is a good person.
Glad to have him as a friend. I am honored to have him, to ever see him. I think about him quite often. Mm-hmm. In fact, Mouse mentioned, I wonder if we'll run into Andrew at the party. And I said, I don't know, maybe he'll be there, maybe not. And lo and behold, he's always there when we least expect him to be. And he's awesome.
He is so awesome.
We love him.
Shout out to you, Andrew.
Yes, sir. Saul from Mesmer has our final question of the night. Favorite meal to eat after haunt? At the end of the day, what are you eating?
He mentioned those bacon wrap dogs. I love the smell of them. Never picked one up myself. They like you were going to the parking lot. They smelled so good. I was like, I'm just gonna go home.
We talk about that all the time. We can smell them on the way out.
Or in the line for chilling chambers. Yeah. They're right on the other side of the wall, and it's like 2 a.m, and you're just like,
yep.
Practically every night of haunt, I went out there to look for the carts. If they weren't there, I was disappointed. If they were, I'd grab a hot dog or two, and I swear I would die because they were so to die for. They were
They're the best.
delicious every single time.
So
And there
good.
was one particular person who knew how to make them. She is a angel in making them because it was not all greasy. It wasn't, it was done the way you want it.
Mhm.
And she double checked with you, and it was, oh my god, it was heaven every night.
Looking forward to having those back here in just a matter of weeks, really. That's
Yeah.
exciting. We really hope to run into you guys again in some way, shape, or fashion. Forecast, I hope you're there. Let us know, without telling us where or anything until you can, but give us the thumbs up that we're gonna see you in some way, shape, or
100%.
form. Skunk, we're gonna come find you wherever you're at and give you some love. You guys, thank you so much for giving us your time. We are so excited about tonight. We're going to go ahead and end the stream, but stay there so we can say goodnight to you off stream.
Hang on, before you guys go, where can we find you guys? You guys got fans and some followers. Where can we find you guys on all the socials? Go ahead and plug yourself. If you got a side business, whatever you guys do, feel free to plug
Take
it in
it
right
away.
now. The floor is yours.
Of course, you see my name, it says Michael, Ducky, and Skunk. Ducky is actually my handle on Facebook and Instagram. It's Ducky Duckerton. I'm sure there's an underscore. But yeah, the reason why Ducky, I'll explain. One of the voices I used to do, which I still kind of do every now and then, was Donald Duck. And I crafted this character out of that kind of voice. And every now and then I would be like, and that was Ducky Duckerton. I literally gave it a name, and I was like, okay, that is a voice that is special to me. Everyone keeps going, oh, you do Donald Duck. I go, okay, yeah. But no, my character is Ducky Duckerton, a duck about town.
I
And
love it.
I got them
Yeah.
linked in the chat.
Okay, you guys, you're linked in the chat. So Ducky Duckerton on Instagram
And Facebook.
and Facebook. I'm also Cyberkick 1975 at youtube.com. So
Awesome.
check me out there.
Awesome.
Haven't done videos in a while, but they're
coming.
Maybe a little inspiration here.
maybe, yeah. We'll
Yay.
see. We'll see.
Awesome.
No pressure.
Ani, how about you, friend? Where can we find you on social
Mine's just
media?
graveshift_cosplay. It's a personal Instagram, so you're going to see a lot of half-finished projects and hanging out with my friends. Hot pictures are there, but I'm infrequent posting. But if you want to see stuff I don't finish and I repost stories I think are funny, you're more than welcome to hang out over there. It's silly.
Yeah, I'm actually a follower.
We follow each other. We actually had auditions together, and you're the first person I got to hang out with at orientation. And you made me feel so
Really?
welcomed as your wife was going to go up the elevator as we were going up the Walter Nutt ramp. No, I really appreciated you taking the time talking with me because I was a wreck inside. I knew absolutely nobody, and you were the first person I actually got to talk to at Haunt. And so I really appreciated you taking that time to talk with me while we waited to go get our schedules and whatnot.
You're quite welcome. It was awesome to be in the
vicinity.
The place. Yeah. And being with someone so talented as yourself. I mean, it was awesome.
Yeah.
It was awesome. I wish I could have seen you in your
Right?
maze.
It's
But,
passing boats
you know.
in the storm, man.
Yeah.
So we got video.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, in the background, you've got to be honest with the the watchers or viewers. Honestly, in the background, we're not quiet. We're not, to ourselves. We actually go by and say, "Hey, how are you, FogCast?" Or "Hey, Skunk," or "Hi, hi, Andrew," and all these other, people that come by. We literally talk, and we'll be sitting there for hours and talk, and then we'll realize, what time is it? Oh my God, it's that time. Oh, we need to get going. We need to go home.
Yep. Like go into the parking lot, talk, guys, go away.
Yeah, exactly. And even then, when you're in the parking lot, everybody else is gone, and your car is the only one sitting there waiting for you to get in and drive. Yeah.
Love that.
Awesome. Well, thank you again both for being here with us. We greatly appreciate you guys coming along with us, and we are so looking forward to this coming up season. Hopefully, we will see both of you back at Knott's in some capacity this year. We look forward to it. We're so excited for both of your futures. We cannot wait. We're super stoked. So, thank you again for hanging out with us tonight. We had a great time.
Well, thank you.
I'm going to put you backstage for just a second. We're going to close out, and then we'll be right back. Say goodnight, everybody.
Night.
All the
All right. So what do we have next? I'm going to ask you this time.
What do we have next? We might have some coffee coming out tomorrow.
Might have some coffee.
Well, probably a coffee. I'm low on coffee beans, so we'll be doing hopefully a coffee. I need some coffee right now. A coffee roasting stream tomorrow, late morning, early afternoon, possibly. So, stick around for that.
Do you have reservations for Disneyland tomorrow night?
And Disneyland tomorrow night. So it's gonna be
long day.
2 live streams tomorrow.
Okay. And then just carrying on with the next of the week, I think we've got some more reservations coming up. Saturday, we've got another ghost investigation. We just had one last night. We're going to start putting the footage together to premiere. We had an investigation at a mortuary that was interesting. So we'll try to put things together so that you can see what happened there versus running hours of footage, because it takes time to find things. It doesn't always just jump out at you. Other than that, we are so excited for the new season coming up. You can just feel the buzz in the air. The auditions are starting to get booked. Everyone's getting really excited. And so do the fans, and that's us.
We're stoked. So thank you all so much for being here. Don't forget, if you haven't done so yet, make sure you monster mash that like button for us. We greatly appreciate it. And you can also find us here on YouTube Music, Spotify, Apple
Podcasts,
iHeart, to name a few.
We're getting you guys out there the best we can. If you could do us a favor and share out this podcast, let your friends know about it. So that they can take a listen. That would be the best way to support us. And other than that, I guess we will see you all
a little later.
You guys.
In the fog.
Good night.